Hey folks, welcome back to Silverton here at Hardrock 100. Sitting next to me is Brett. Brett, how are we going with all these live interviews, mate? There's a lot of good chats going down.
Yeah, I mean, we've been absolutely crushing it today, as is everyone in the comfy couch. A lot of good stories. Excited to hear a few more.
Absolutely, and we've got two legends here, Mark Hammond, Jeff Browning. Gentlemen, welcome to the couch. Welcome to Silverton. How are you both feeling?
Good, thanks.
Feeling good.
Meant a few words. So, Jeff, you've been here 6 times. You are the 2018 champion. This is your 7th running. Mark, this is your 1st running. Mark, has Jeff given you the playbook of how to win this race?
He's told me a lot. Yeah, it's been helpful. But maybe too helpful. I don't know.
Yeah, I did give him some tips.
Yeah.
I didn't give him all of them though. I just gave him most of the good ones.
So I mean,
he is a teammate. I got to be nice.
What does that playbook look like? Like, what do you guys do when you're having breakfast? Are you chatting about how to win this race together?
Well, we're staying in a different place because he's got a family, I got a family, and we're staying in 2 different houses. So we got a hike in today. We did some video shooting, and we hiked up to Island Lake. So we did a lot of chatting because it was a chill hike. We went slow, and so we did a lot of talking back and forth on that 3 hours. You know, I did a lot of talking. It's just usual. But Mark's the strong silent type.
Excellent. Well, we'll try to squeeze something out of him in this chat. So how are you both feeling physically, mentally? Like, Mark, start with you, man. Like, let us know what are your thoughts?
I just got in last night, so yeah, that was not a good night of sleep. Just the altitude and kids. So a bit tired, but I think I've done a good job tapering, so I think I'll be all right. I haven't spent a whole lot of time above like 11,000 feet, like a lot of people have, but I'm confident I can have a good run.
Like, do you feel like you're coming into this race, do you think fitness can outlast something like not being adapted to the altitude?
That's a good question. I mean, you look at what Killian did last year without acclimating, but then he's Killian, so I don't know if that counts. And
he is an anomaly.
Yeah, but I've heard of other people like, was it Adam Campbell or someone else who they just came in the night before the race and had a good run, without acclimating at all. So, who knows?
Yeah, it can definitely happen for sure.
Yeah.
Just mind your P's and Q's.
Yeah. Respect the course. Respect the course.
But
good tip right there.
But up at Island Lake this morning, I was definitely noticing the altitude, so
yeah,
I'm not fooling myself.
Well, I guess you got to roll that dice, eh?
Yeah.
Do you, just one more question for you, Mark. Like, Hardrock, it's a kind of infamous race here in the States. Like, what makes you excited to be here and be a part of it?
I think it's probably the most beautiful ultramarathon course in America, if not the world. And I love lots of vert, so I think this course fits me. And yeah, it's just such a legendary, historic course.
Awesome. How you feeling, Jeff?
Good. Stoked. I love Hardrock. This is my favorite race.
What does what's like the preparation or the last few months looked like for this year's Hardrock versus some of the ones you've done in the past? Has that stayed similar, or has your playbook changed as well?
Well, I was in the Western States top 10 thing for like 4 years straight. So there was always the Western States Hardrock double every year, pretty much.
Yeah.
When I was in it the last few years, and so this year, to keep with back-to-back hundreds, I did I'm doing a 600 project this year. I had 4,600-mile finishes at the beginning of before 2023, at the end of 2022. And my wife didn't want me to run Cocodona this year, 250, because I ran Moab 240 last year, and then I was like, I'm going to run Cocodona 250 because it's our backyard, you know, and finishes in flag. And then, so to keep me from running it, she goes, don't you turn 52 this year and you have 4,600-mile finishes? If you did 600s, you'd get 5,200-mile finishes and you turn 52.
Right
And I was like,
on.
oh, that's a good idea. And of course, I forgot all about Cocodona and started looking at like what hundreds I was going to do. And then I saw when the lottery happened and I was second on the wait list, I knew I was going to get into Hardrock. So then I'm like, well, I'm doing the Rocky Mountain Slam. So I decided I would do the Rocky Mountain Slam plus 2 Arizona races. So I did Coldwater 100 in January, and then I did the new Sedona Canyons 125, part of Cocodona Week, new 125, and then the Rocky Mountain Slam. So Bighorn, Hardrock, Wasatch, Bear.
Epic.
So I'm half done with my year right now.
Okay.
Damn.
About to be more done.
And I think you were telling us that, so Hardrock is your 50th.
It's my 50th 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be my 50th 100.
Wow.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good stamp for old
Boom.
number 50.
I know, right? It was my 5th 100 in 2007, and now it's my 50th.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2023.
So that's like 4,500 miles later. Do you still have like same excitement about the sport and
I do.
running? Yeah.
I'm more relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
just because you 50-100s, you just get used to doing them. I do 4 a year usually, and this year I'm doing 6. So I'm always doing them. So I just it's kind of normal.
Yeah.
You know, my kids have gotten used to 100 milers being normal, part of life.
Normalize 100 milers.
Yeah, so I don't get nervous. I'm relaxed. You know, I love the mountains, and I love big races like mountain races more than any other race. I get super stoked on them. This is one of those aesthetic. The course is aesthetic. It changes every year, you know, clockwise, counterclockwise. So even if you run it back-to-back years, it's different, and you're looking at it from a different strategy. And I love that about this course. And this the San Juans. I mean, San Juans are huge. I mean, I've been here for 2 weeks, and Jesse Haynes, I've been training with him. He's been here early too, and he said the other day, he's like, every day we've run, he's like, at least once during the run, you've said, it's so big. This place is so big. It just always gets to me. Every time I come back to train after a year off of it, you're like, man, when you get here, you're like, this place is so big. It's awesome. It's huge.
That was what I was saying. So this is my first time to Silverton and into San Juans, and
It's
when I run
massive.
today, and I was looking, I was like, dude, these mountains are very large.
Yeah, they are. I love to take new people out on it, though, like people that are here for the first time. Like Yassine
Yeah.
DeBoon was with us, and he's been trying to get in for like 8 years or something. And he finally got in. And he was out with us, and it's just awesome to watch people's reaction to how big they are. He's just like, this course, man, this course. You know, and it's just so, because you go up like a big steep climb, 1,500 feet, and then you're in a basin, and you're like, we got to be about near the top, and you're not even halfway up the
Yeah.
climb, you know? And it's just like, there'd be like 3 false summits, and, you know, you think you're to the top, you're not quite to the top.
Brutal, man.
Yeah, San Juan
Relentless.
miles, they're way slow.
It's brutal. Jeff, I just want to go back a moment. So you did the Moab 240, and then your wife said she didn't want you to do another 200-mile race. What happened to you after that one?
I was pretty wiped after that race. I mean, she'd gotten used to me, what I look like after hundreds,
Yeah.
and, you know, I bounce back pretty fast, you know? I'm back like standing at my standing decks by midweek, you know, and working and that kind of stuff. And I was just on the sofa for a week. Like I couldn't, I was taking naps, multiple naps a day. Cause I mean, you know, even, and man, I feel because I coach people who are like middle the back of the pack in 200s, and for them to be out 4 or 5 nights with hardly any sleep, and just barely getting any sleep, that sleep deprivation is so deep. It gave me as a coach, it gave me a new respect for the recovery of 200s versus 100s, because they're so big. And it's just, it compounds with the sleep deprivation. And I was only out 2 nights, right, in the lead. So I don't even experience 4 nights, right, like some people do, or 5 nights.
Yeah.
So, and I was wiped. And so I think was what she didn't, she's just like, you look like crap at the end, you know? And looked like crap for a few days, you know? And I think that was probably why she's, you know, she doesn't want me
Yeah.
Which I've already signed up for Cocodona next year, full disclosure, and she
Oh,
knows
right
it,
on.
There we go.
and she's supporting it.
Just needed a year break. In
Yeah,
between.
I just needed a year break.
So having done Moab 240, you know, something significantly longer in terms of time on feet than Hardrock, that's got to be a little bit of an advantage, at least from the mental standpoint, to have gone so much past what, you know, you're probably going to be at
It does help.
this weekend. Yeah.
It does help, I think. Just body and mental context. But also, like, your body always prepares for what you're going to do, right? So mentally, physically, I think that the mind prepares the body, and you just there's a ceiling in every race that you're just kind of ready to go to, and so I think it changes, you know. So
Talk about, like, I kind of borders the line of strategy with running 100 miles. Like, Mark, have you got to, like, what are your strategies around this race? Like, what are you going to do or make sure that you do or don't do out there?
I think number one, I want to make sure I get to URA feeling decent, you know, feeling like, yeah, I can race for the second half. If I do that, I'll be okay. So just need to, I might even stick with Jeff for the first, I don't know, who knows, because he paces it so well. Just make sure I get to halfway feeling decent.
And what is your, like, I mean, what does your calorie intake look like? Are you like trying to make sure that you've got like a certain amount going in? Do you look at those numbers, or you just go off feel?
I try to get about 400 calories per hour,
That's high.
but
Right?
you
good
know,
number.
for this
Good, healthy
race
number.
though, at a slower pace and high altitude, I don't think I'll be able to get that much in. So maybe 3, who knows? A lot of unknowns with this.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, one thing we've been talking about, there's some great aid stations out there with some amazing dishes.
American delicacies.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone has kind of a specialty, right?
Yeah.
Every aid station has their specialty.
We've heard like loaded tots somewhere, the pierogies up at Kroger's. That's got to be something to look forward to.
Some flavored cinnamon drink.
I look forward to the shot
Yeah.
at Kroger's.
Yeah.
It's just a thimbleful, but man, it gives you just enough to get on your teeth and tongue.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
Let's
yeah.
descend.
There's always something to look forward to, even if the nutrition plan isn't going
Yeah,
the way you want it to.
I should
reset on Kroger's and then go again.
Yep.
I should definitely take advantage of all the different food at the aid stations. You know, variety is good for long races.
Yeah.
So.
And Jeff, yourself, man, like you analyze a race, and like what do you make sure you get in terms of numbers, or is it just on feel?
I'm pretty simple. I'm just doing tailwind mainly liquid, and a little bit of solids, a little bit of gels, and a little bit of fruit, a little bit of mashed potatoes. That's really it. That's all I do. I keep it pretty simple. About 250 calories an hour. Vespa. the
Is
whole
that-
time.
is
And
that
some
pretty
ketones,
similar?
Ketone IQ.
Is that pretty similar from race to race, or
Yep,
does it change?
same.
It's pretty much
It's like
across
yeah,
the board.
It really doesn't change much.
Just set it and forget it.
Yeah. I pretty much have the same nutritional plan. Have for years, pretty much. You know, some kind of liquid nutrition, powdered drink, and with electrolytes, extra electrolytes in it.
Yeah.
Kind of a custom amount.
Jeff, you've done this course a few times in both directions. Like, tell us about how different that is. Like, does it?
It is an
really make
interesting difference because in this direction you're going up the ramps and down the walls, and in the other direction you're going up the walls and down the ramps. So it's typically faster, right? To go run down the long runnable downhills and then have really steep uphills. So you're just like, you know, getting up the elevation faster because you're power hiking steep up. This way is a little trickier, and I've done the other way 4 times, and I've done this way 2 times. This will be my 3rd time in this direction. I used to like the other direction as my favorite. Like, if someone asked me, I'd be yeah that way, you know, clockwise, or that,
Yeah.
clockwise, right? Right. But I think the counterclockwise is an interesting one because I feel like I haven't nailed it yet in that direction because I haven't done it as much, and it's trickier because the ending is hard. The last 3 climbs are really hard, and there's a lot of like kind of low grade grinder hills on some dirt roads, like 4-wheel drive roads, that should be able to move faster on. The altitude just kind of is weird here, you know, the way it like puts a governor on you. You know, it's like somebody's holding you back or something, and you just can't quite push like you normally would. Like, you know, stuff you would read like uphill running, you'd be like, I'm gonna run that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh gosh, my heart rate's like spiking. I gotta hike again. You know,
Yeah,
just because of the altitude.
Yeah, you got to pay attention so much more to like how much you press down on the throttle. Because if you do like a little bit too much, I found like then it takes 10 times longer for me to get
because it
back
takes
to normal.
your recovery. You don't bounce right back from that effort,
No.
even by taking a hike break.
Yeah.
And so that's the hard thing here. That's what makes it different, I think. I think, I don't know, some of the old timers out there will know Rock Horton, 10-time finisher, Hard Rock. He's on the board for a while. I think he's crewing Darcy, so he'll be back in Silverton tonight. And he hasn't been back for a few years. But point being, he told me this, and he told Joe Grant and I, and Joe reminded me of this 2 years ago when I went up to Kroger's and Joe was setting up for the aid station. I was scouting the snow and what the conditions were. I always do that kind of tradition, go up to Kroger's at least once, and in the week of the race, easy, a power hike up and check it out and see what the snow looks like. And Joe reminded me of this, and then then 2 years ago when Courtney was at her first Hard Rock, the year she dropped, we were standing at a start line, and she asked me for like veteran advice, and I just told her the story that Rock had told me, and he had told Joe and I both at different times, but Joe reminded me of it that year, and he said, imagine, and I told Mark this morning, imagine the race is an artisan piece of sourdough bread, and you are a knife, and your effort is one slather of peanut butter. Now, you have to slather that peanut butter smoothly over that whole piece of bread, and if you put it on too thick early, you're going to have no peanut butter for the end of the toast. You don't want dry toast. And so
It's so fitting.
you don't want dry toast.
Yeah.
Dry toast sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah.
I hate dry toast.
I should change that story to butter because I like butter better than peanut butter, but peanut butter's appropriate. You just want to spread it smoothly over the whole race. It's not like any other 100. You have to spread your effort really smoothly. You can't make big moves. You can't, I mean, Killian can, but he sat and kicked the last aid station last year. Like you can't, it's one of those races that this course will take you down.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the few races that I've ever blown up in. In 2007, I blew up here, like bad. And from that point forward, it was like a learning experience. And every 100 after that, I was like, go out easy. Like, don't go hard. Because I went out hard.
Mark,
And-
are you feeling same, better, worse now after all this?
Maybe a little better. Yeah. I mean,
Well, I'm beating it in his head right now. 'cause
Yeah.
It's the second time he's heard it today.
yeah, I'm feeling more confident about my plan.
Yeah,
You know.
that's good.
Yeah.
This race pays the patient,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely what we've.
I mean, there are some anomalies
Seem
with
to learn.
Francois and Killian and some of their performances on this course. They're just mind-blowing. But the average person, you need to really respect this course and spread your effort. And I think they do it too. They spread their effort.
Yeah.
They just have a really fast effort.
Yeah.
It's just way different.
It sounds like you can't push hard in the first half like you can at Western and get away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
I would stress that one.
Western just gets easier in a way. You know, you descend altitude and
And this just keeps coming at you
yeah.
hard.
Jeff, can I take your mind away for toast for 2 minutes and just transport? Can you please try and transport us back to that 2018 moment where you were coming into the finish line and you were about to be the very first person to kiss that rock and become the winner of Hard Rock? Can you take us back to that moment and what that was like for you?
That was a crazy year. I mean, I didn't know I was in the lead until Cunningham, so 9 miles
Yeah.
to go. And Jeff Rome was charging. He was 6 minutes behind me. I could see him going up Little Giant behind me. And, just I'm going to the well, power hiking as hard as I can on my poles, and he's power hiking hard down below me on the switchbacks, and I'm like, I think he's moving faster than me, And But I had run that descent off Little Giant in 2016 to get the double record, Western States Hard Rock double, just to try to get the record down. And I hammered that downhill, and I knew I could do that. So I had that confidence. I'd done it before. I'm like, I'm just going to hammer that thing. And my goal when we came over the top was just to be out of sight in the trees on that road below Little Giant. It's trail down to by the mine, and it goes into the trees. My goal was to be in the trees when he topped over and looked down and be like, where'd he go? That's what I wanted him to think. Like, oh my gosh, where'd he go? And so I hammered that, like reckless, and got down into the trees. And after the race, we chatted, and he was like, dude, I thought I was going to catch you on the downhill, and then I came over the top, and you're gone. I was like, that's what I wanted you to think. But I hammered it all the way to the finish. But I mean, the whole time I was like talking to myself out loud, like, you're in the lead at Hard Rock, you're in the lead at Hard Rock, don't blow it, you know? Like, this is epic, Hard Rock, you know? It was awesome. I mean, what a cool, that was probably my favorite win, you know? Definitely my favorite win. Just because it was Hard Rock. And I love this town. I love Silverton, and I love the scene, and I love the community. I love that they keep to a veteran bucket or a finisher bucket and never, that it keeps this vibe when you come to town. And anybody who's been here knows even the new people, when they come, after you've been here, you understand why they do it that way. Otherwise, it would change the vibe of the whole race. And it's just such a cool, like, I feel like it's a homecoming every year. You know, I come even if I don't get in. I come volunteer and hang out and come train in the San Juans for 2 weeks or a week. And yeah, it's such a cool scene. It is a unique scene to ultra running, in my opinion. It gives you a vibe of the old school ultra running before it got like kind of mainstream popular. Before we had all this, right? It still keeps that really old school vibe, but it embraces the new school too, which I love. You know, even the whole like women, like the women's committee they've started, you know, with the 4 women that have been on that, like kind of spearheading, keeping it fair as far as how many get in and women versus men. I love it. I think, you know, they're always trying to evolve, but they keep this old school vibe that I love, this community. It's cool.
Yeah, agreed. It is a super cool vibe. Yeah, seeing it for the first time now. I'm like, you know, looking around like, we're in the Silverton gym. Like,
yeah, right?
This is cool.
Yeah, we're up on the stage.
Yeah.
And stage, which is a weight room too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to know.
And how many gyms have a freaking full climbing wall?
Yeah,
right?
It's a cool
it's a mountain town for
yeah,
sure.
It's a cool town.
Yeah.
So good.
Right on. Flota.
Oh, gents. Yes. Brett, fire away.
So we've partnered with Trail Runner and Satisfy to bring a very unique, tasty beverage to the Hardrock 100 for both of you to either enjoy now or on the course. This is the famous Flota. I think it debuted at Cocodona.
I drank one in the studio. I've had one in my life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're one of the very few who have actually like seen it. Yeah, you're one
It's
of the
basically
Flota OGs.
like a flat soda.
Well, I wouldn't
Coke.
say basically. I would say it's
That's what it is.
exactly
It's
what
exactly.
And it
flat
tastes
soda.
exactly like that, but it's got better ingredients than Coca-Cola.
Yes,
Sorry,
that's
Coke.
There we go.
that's the kicker. Is it's got a little bit higher quality ingredients, but that'll be there for you at Ouray. So when you've made it into Ouray and you're like, all right, I'm ready to go, you can slam a couple flotas and start charging.
Heck yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, don't feel pressure to drink it right now, although it would be epic for the live viewers. But
No, we're getting a little late in the day.
Yeah, I don't want caffeine.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not having
getting- it is
caffeine right
getting
now.
on.
Sorry.
Well, Mark and Jeff, yeah, thanks so much, guys. And also, actually, what I have here is the Ultra.
That's the Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc.
I've got the Ultra Mont Blanc here. You two gentlemen are going to be running in a pair of Ultras, no doubt.
Yep.
Are you going to be running in these?
He's running in the BOA version, right?
Actually, I'll run half the race in those, and then half the race.
Half
Oh,
in the
half the
boa.
race. Good strategy.
I'm running in a prototype version of the Mont Blanc
Oof.
that's coming out spring 24.
Look out.
Cool.
That's all I can say.
All right. Well,
Well,
maybe
can we ask you some more questions about it?
that's,
Sure.
we'll get some follow.
I can only answer certain questions, so I have to be kind of vague.
All right, so we have to look at
Because
Jeff's
it isn't
shoes.
released yet, so.
Yeah.
soon to be soon released.
What does spring 24 mean to normal people?
February, March,
February, yeah.
March time frame of like release date.
All right.
Yeah, so it's not that far away.
Yeah.
Will that just be the Mont Blanc 2, or is it a whole nother
It's
model?
it's similar but different. It's
Yeah.
new. It's a new shoe, new upper, new midsole,
Carbon plate.
maybe.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
I like this. Yeah.
Did not confirm nor deny.
I'm not gonna say either or.
Cool.
All right, cool, Jeff. I just want to bring this
Oh,
up.
look at that.
I just want to bring this
Oh,
up
what
here,
do we
mate.
got? Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
that's this is confirmed. Jeff, what is this? Tell the world.
That is the I'm pretty sure 2018. That's when I won. That was the Lone Peak I won in.
So this is the shoe that you were talking to as much as yourself on the
Yeah.
final descent.
And
Did
so
you do the whole race in that one, or did you swap out at all?
I did the whole race in that shoe.
Lone Peak OG original or
Probably like a
I'm
Lone
trying to
Peak.
remember which version that is.
What
Is that the
version is it?
It's probably like a
4?
4.
oh,
Right.
okay.
I
Take a
can't even
guess.
remember which one that is. I love that. That color scheme was cool.
Looks good.
Yeah, we could have seen you coming from a little bit away.
Yep, that's
well,
what
I guess
I-
same with this one.
That's what I hammered in, dude,
Nice,
right there.
man.
Wow.
Look at that. Hey?
And in that year, man, I got lost. I didn't get lost. I thought I was off course. So I actually would have had a lot, like over an hour faster time that year. But I backtracked on the course.
Oh, really?
Look at that. That's hilarious.
It's legit, man. That's original right there. That mud is. You didn't clean that shoe when you gave it to the gentleman. All right. Well, thanks,
it.
guys, from the Ultra Archives, and yeah, I appreciate you both. We appreciate you both coming on. I know it's late in the day. It's not long now until it's 2 more sleeps and
2 more sleeps.
ready to go.
Yep.
Any
let's go,
final
John.
words?
Any final words?
I'm stoked.
Giddy up.
Giddy up, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, guys, and all the best with the race. Looking forward to seeing you out there. And yeah, have a great time.
Thank you.
Cheers.